Hi, my name is Drew Herbert, and I'm a fourth-year childhood education major from the small little German town, Fredericksburg, Texas. One thing I love about my major is the reaction I get from people when I actually do tell them I want to be an elementary school teacher. I feel like being a male elementary school teacher, they're few and far between, but I guarantee if you go back to your elementary years and think about the time you had a cool science teacher or a cool math teacher, that male teacher that really made you passionate about learning for what it truly is. That's the kind of teacher I always looked up to as a kid, and that's the teacher that I want to be when I grow up. Something that's great about Texas 4000 is the fact that Why We Ride can perpetually change. I ride for each and every single one of my teammates and all of their stories. I ride for each and every single one of my donors and all their stories they share with me. And I even ride for the strangers I meet on the side of the street who happen to share their story with me. I ride for so many people. It's always changing. But the main reason I joined Texas 4000 is for my Omi, Barbara Meyer. She's hands down one of the greatest one I've ever met in my entire life. And it would be near impossible for you to find a single person who could say a bad word about her. If you were to pull out a dictionary and look up the definition for perfect grandma, I can guarantee her picture would be right next to that definition. She was caring, she was loving, and she definitely knew how to spoil her grandkids. Her first encounter with cancer was breast cancer, and it was when my sister, cousins, and I were far too young to even understand what was going on. All we knew is that Omi sometimes had to wear a funny-looking bra. That was all we understood. That was all we knew about it. That was all we knew. As we grew older, we started to understand what she went through. And each year we would be at Relay for Life with her in her purple Survivor t-shirt, and we would just walk laps around the track all night. Fast forward a few years to the summer of 2013, and I can tell you this phone call. I remember it just like it was yesterday. I was studying for an accounting test in the library, and my mom called me crying, saying that Omi's cancer had come back, and this time it was lung cancer. After that phone call, there was a flurry of emotion. I remember being mad and just so confused. I didn't understand how a woman who had never smoked in her entire life could get lung cancer. I was so confused. Needless to say, I definitely bombed that accounting test. The ensuing year was definitely a rough one for our family. There was an incredible amount of emotion, but there was also a huge determination to fight. And there was a family of shaved heads standing in solidarity with Omi the entire way. Sadly, this past summer on June 16th, Omi did pass away, but she never gave up. There was fight in every single one of her last breaths. I ride for you, Omi. I ride for you every single day. Each rider and each individual associates themselves with a different pillar for their own specific reasons. The pillar I associate with most is hope. As Omi was fighting and as Omi was battling, never once did she think about giving up. Never once did she think about quitting. No matter what kept happening, no matter what news she was given, giving up was never on her mind, and death certainly was something she was not thinking about. She lived each and every day with hope, always hope, and she gave us hope. And I hope it was one of the most inspiring things I've ever seen in my entire life, and I hope that I can live with that much hope throughout my entire life. Texas 4000 has impacted my life in a multitude of ways. It has helped me realize that each and every individual we encounter in life has a story. All of my teammates have stories. The person holding up the line in the front of Starbucks has a story. People who donate to us while we're panhandling, they all have stories. Through Texas 4000, I've understood that stories are meant to be shared, and I feel honored to have the opportunity to not only listen to these stories, but to share these stories all the way across North America.